Good evening, gentlemen. Please turn off your mic. Today we are going to start our second session for NEBOSH IG, and I'm going to share my screen now. Today we will Today we will study the. Let me turn off my video. Yeah, today we will study this session 2. You can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
So our session 2 is management of
Yes, sir.
international health and safety management system 1 policy. Now we will talk about elements of health and safety management system. Policy is one of the elements which is an important element of health and safety management system. So before starting this, I will just give you a quick review for yesterday. Yesterday we read about the reasons. What are the reasons for implementing health and safety? There's a 3 type: moral, legal, and financial. And then we go through about the health and safety definitions. We read and we discuss the roles and responsibilities as per ILO. And we read about the convention C155 and recommendation 164. We also discuss the difference between convention and recommendations. And moving forward, we also discuss the barriers to good standards, like why HSE standards are not being followed in some organizations. And we also discuss about the direct and indirect cost. These are some important topics or important items which we discussed yesterday. I just gave a quick review, and now we will start our next session. So for our element 2, the learning outcomes, what we are going to learn in this session is outline the key elements of health and safety management system, explain purpose and importance of setting policy for health and safety, and describe the key features and the appropriate health and safety policy. Guys, please mute your mic. Okay, now we are here. Unit IG2, element 2.1, key elements of health and safety management system. Okay, how it works. ILO-OSH safety and health management system. It works by following a PDCA cycle. PDCA means plan, do, check, act. Like first plan what you are going to do, then do it, then check is it effective, is it working or no, and then act accordingly. If you need to make some more changes, then that is the act. That is the last section. You need to act as per the condition. Okay, now here we are talking about safety management system. It starts with policy, then organizing. These are the elements: policy, organizing, planning and implementation, evaluation, and action for improvement. To check out these elements, the effectiveness, we have audit. Audit is coming after planning and implementing. Once we implement a health and safety management system, then we are auditing the management system, that is it effective, or we are getting the goals and the targets which we set for health and safety system of the organization. And so key elements, as we discussed: policy, organization, planning, evaluation, action for improvement, audit. These are the key elements. You guys need to memorize this one. Key elements of health and safety policy. Key elements. And then moving forward, a policy. What is policy? Policy must be a clear statement of commitment to health and safety. It must be coming from the top management, from the senior management. It's showing the commitment of management for health and safety, like how much priority they are giving, and the policy must be signed by the senior management, so that it shows the influence, so that it have influence, and it shows their commitment for health and safety, like it shows that they are serious. And then the next thing, organizing. In organizing, we have roles and responsibilities, like who is responsible for implementing, planning, and developing the health and safety management system at our level of the organization, like from top management, senior management, middle management, and the operations team. Everyone, so each and every responsibility is being distributed and assigned to the responsible persons, and record is being kept, like who is responsible for doing this job. Then planning and implementation. Planning and implementation, detailed arrangements. Just a moment, Asad. Yes, Asad. Asad, you raise hand. Any problem? Okay. So planning and
Sir,
implementation.
Sorry, मेरा question था, you kindly explain the policy back slide, sir.
Policy. Okay, you can see this slide now. Exactly, policy, organizing,
Right.
and planning. I will explain you the policy. Policy is a clear written statement from the top
Yes.
management for the implementation of a health and safety policy. Policy have some content, aim of the organization, objectives of the organization for health and safety, and the set targets of the organization to achieve the health and safety targets or the milestones. The policy must be signed by the top management so that it can show that they are serious and they are giving enough priority to health and safety. When it was signed by the senior most manager or the owner of the organization, or you can say the managing director, so it means that he is the one who is taking the responsibility of implementing the health and safety policy at the workplace or in the organization.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, please.
सर ये अगर स्क्रीन फुल हो जाए, ये इसके जो वर्ड्स हैं जरा छोटे दिखाई दे रहे हैं ना, वो थोड़ा सा अगर ये
जी अब
फुल साइज में हो जाए तो।
अब ठीक है?
नहीं सर, ये सर अभी ठीक है, अभी ठीक है।
चले ठीक है जी, ठीक है।
ये थोड़ा सा जरा विजिबल मेरे लिए जरा हो जाता है।
जी जी जी, तो असल समझ आ गई आपको पॉलिसी की?
सर इसमें एक और क्वेश्चन आ सकता है।
यस प्लीज।
सर ये जो स्टेटमेंट ऑफ कमिटमेंट है, एक्चुअली ये विजन और मिशन से रिलेटेड होता है या समथिंग एल्स है?
Actually, it's the vision and mission is different thing. It can be attacked, but not the fully. See, vision of the organization is to produce quality work with safety. So vision is a combination. Vision and mission is a combination, but the health and safety policy is purely related to health and safety of the organization, like what the actions or what the understanding the company or the employer have to keep the workplace safe. What are the efforts he is putting to keep the workplace safe, and what is his role and how much priority he is giving for health and safety of the organization.
Right.
Okay, then we have organizing, as we discussed the roles and responsibilities, then planning and the implementation, detailed arrangements to manage health and safety. It includes the allocation of resources, allocation of manpower, distributing of responsibilities, and then implementing of the work at site. Then the risk assessments, like what are the operations on the project going on, which type of work is going on, which type of material is being used, which type of substances, which type of equipments are being used. All these are counted in the risk assessment. These are taken in the risk assessment so that there is a clear idea about the presence of risk on workplace can be obtained, and then accordingly they implement the control measures or they suggest the control measures to the organization. Then evaluation is the method to monitor and review the effectiveness of arrangements. In evaluation, what we are doing, we are checking, we are analyzing that what health and safety management system we have implemented on site, is it effective? There are different ways: audits, inspections, accident records, people's feedback, organizations, insurance claims, etc., etc. These are the things which help us to to evaluate that is the health and safety management system is working efficiently or no. If yes, then carry on. If no, then we have to give the action for improvement. Okay, if there's something going on average and we need to make it more high, then we have to give an action for improvement. Like these steps we need to take more, these actions we need to adopt again, so that we can make it more good and it can be more efficient. We can achieve our targets and goals which we are set in our health and safety management system. And then we have audit. Audit is independent, critical, and systematic review of the management system. This is a part of evaluation also, like whatever we have implemented on our health and in our health and safety management system, is it working? All sections are working properly, all employees are performing their roles and responsibilities properly or no. This is audit. We are going to discuss audit again in the next units. So just, I believe you guys have idea about audit. Audit is always a critical examination. It can be internal and can be external. The internal is a little bit biased, but the external is more clear and more concise. because the internal auditors, maybe they are under influence from the organization or from the senior managers, but the third party auditors, or external auditors, they are not biased, they are not under in any influence, they don't have any peer group pressure. So that was a more efficient. We are going to discuss this again in the next slides. So here we have unit IG1, element 2.2, purpose and importance of setting policy for health and safety. Health and safety policy. Asad, I skip from there because I know that the health and safety policy is coming in the next slide. But anyhow, you raise the question. That's very good thing. Anybody have any doubt? Don't be shy. Don't be hesitant. Please raise your hand. Ask me the question anytime. I'm here to explain you each and everything on my best level, perfect, inshallah. So the important document. What is health and safety policy? It's an important document, the foundation stone of good health and safety management in an organization, and sets out the organization's aims. What are the organization aims relating to health and safety? Identify who is responsible for achieving these aims. In health and safety policy, they identify and they mention that who is responsible to achieve these goals and how these goals to be achieved, like how the allocation of resources and who is responsible for all this, specific to each organization's requirement. Yeah, health and safety is specific for each organization. One HSE policy is not implemented on all. Every organization, because they have different system of work, different policy, different procedure, different kind of work, the workplace is different. That's why that's why every organization has its own health and safety policy. A unique or a generic health and safety policy is not acceptable for all type of organization. Why might the health and safety policy of two organizations is different? This is a question. Why? Because their procedure, their actions, their work, their project, their task, their job, their materials, their humans, their health, and their substances. Because of all these things, the health and safety policy of an organization is different to the other. Okay, why isn't there a prescribed one size fits all approach to developing policy? Why no? This is a group discussion. Why no? Because every organization has its own aims and objectives, own type of work, own nature of work. That's why one size fit is not applicable on all organizations. Okay, why have a written policy? It's a legal requirement in ILO-OSH 2001 and OSAR 18001. It's a it's a legal requirement that HSE policy must be written and clear communication. Continuous improvement must be there. So legal compliance, management of health and safety standard need that it must be written, and if it's written, it's a good and clear communication. Just imagine this one. I write something and I distribute it with everyone. I show it on the notice board, then everyone can read it properly and everyone will get the same message. But if it's verbal, maybe I tell something to one student and to the other students, I give some different idea or different words, or maybe he understands a little bit different, then it can create confusion. So to avoid any confusion, it must be written and it can be recorded. And then continuous improvement can be possible if it's written, so that we can check out. Okay, end of section Q's. Why is an organization's policy so important? We already discussed that it's very important, so that it shows the organizations or the employers' commitment towards health and safety. Why might two organizations doing similar work have different policies? Yes, this is an important question. Why two organizations who have similar work but policies different? It shows the behavior and commitment of the organization, like how much they are sincere and how much priority they are giving to health and safety policy, how much are the aims and objectives for their health and safety policy or in their health and safety management system, and how much resources, like in all these things, how much commitment they have for health and safety policy. It can make a differ in two organizations who are working on the same project or who are doing the same job. Key features and content of health and safety policy. So what are the key features? Statement of intent, organization, arrangements. Okay, health and safety policy is usually found in three parts. Statement of intent. Statement of intent means the organization or the senior management, they are showing that they are describing, or they are, you can say, they are giving the statement that this is going to be done. We are going to do this in health and safety, like we are going to achieve zero incident or zero LTIs at our workplace. That is a statement of intent, like what is their intention for health and safety. Then organization, who's going to do it? This is the second part. In HSC policy, they need to mention that who is responsible to do all these arrangements, who is responsible to achieve all these goals and targets and arrangements, how they are going to be done, how they are going to do it, like which procedure they are going to adopt to implement their health and safety policy at the workplace, and which type of arrangements they are going to develop and going to accept or going to involve in the procedure, so that they can develop a clear and concise health and safety policy. These are the three elements of health and safety policy, and this is very important thing. General statement of intent, as we discuss in health and safety policy, the statement of intent, the intention, setting overall aims and objectives, complying with law, achieving standards, reminds workers at all levels of their responsibilities, signed and dated by the most senior person, and regular review if need to update. It can be updated regularly, like quarterly, 6 months, or yearly by yearly, whatever is the sequence or the procedure in the organization. So here we have group discussion. Targets may be included in the statement of intent to show commitment to improvement. Yeah, they can include the targets. What are their targets in health and safety to ensure that the health and safety is more good and it can show more improvement. And what targets could be included? General example, what targets could be included in health and safety policy? Anybody have idea?
Compliance with the legal requirement.
Okay, yes. Okay, it can be it can be included the training programs of the organization. Like we aim to train each and every employee in the organization. We aim to achieve zero LTI. We aim to achieve minimum first aid cases on the workplace. These all are the general targets and objectives of the organization. So here we have organization. I need to minimize my screen. Actually, here we have organization section. Just
Sir, this will be also called the training method is someone has to be, trained fully, and what is going on in the company, there has to be trained and perfectly full and final.
Yes, you are right. It's same, but it's in other manners, because the aim is generic. The aim of HSE policy is generic, and the training metrics or the training program of the organization is different. The aim is developed to keeping in view overall activities of the organization and full organization. And the training method or the training metrics or the training procedure is being developed as per the activity. Like in the month of January, we are going to start confined space. So we will assign confined space trainer to give training to 50 people, 50 employees to perform the job in confined space. And in the next month, in the month of March, we are going to work at height. So we will assign the trainer that give training to 30 employees relating to work at height. That is training procedure and the training metrics, which is prepared by the HSE team in coordination with the construction team. So they look ahead for 6 months at least, that in 6 months what activities we are going to perform, and then accordingly they arrange and they develop a health and safety training metrics in the organization.
Right, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. And then the next is organization. As we read earlier, the first is the policy and then organization section of the health and safety management system. Outline the chain of command for health and safety management. Identify the roles and responsibilities of staff. Usually include an organization chart relating to health and safety. Show lines of communication and feedback. This is our second element of health and safety. It defines the roles and responsibilities of the employees. It defines the allocation of resources. It defines like who is responsible for doing the same job. We already discussed this one earlier, but again, I will explain it for you.
Sir?
Yes.
सर ये फ्लो चार्ट जो उनसे क्लियरली नजर नहीं आ रहा, काइंडली थोड़ा सा।
ये आपको जो पीपीटी भेजी हुई है ना, दिस इज इंक्लूडेड देयर, दिस इज इंक्लूडेड देयर।
ओके सर।
So in organization section, the responsibilities for the CEO or MD of the organization, because they are the ultimate responsible and they are accountable for the health and safety of the employees. Management, like senior management, they are responsible for day-to-day management. All employees, they are responsible for their own act in the safety. And competent person like first aid or fire marshals, they are responsible to give first aid to the employees, and they are also responsible to ensure that the workplace is free from the fire hazards and the adequate fire extinguishing equipments are available at the workplace. Then we have arrangement section. In arrangement sections, we have to describe how things to be done, how things are done, detailed description of policy and plans, usually a long document, often separate from the policy document, unique to each organization. The arrangement section is different in each organization as per their size, their volume, their work procedures, their type of work, and as per allocation of the resources. So this is a long document. It defines each and everything very clear, like who is responsible and how it can be achieved. Like as I mentioned yesterday, there is a method statement for each and every activity. Method statement is a clear description about the methodology of the work. It starts from the mobilization of the machines or the mobilization of the material and humans till handing over till up to the last task of the job. So there is a clear description like how this job to be done. These steps are involved, these people are involved, these are the materials. This is the arrangement section. The same we are doing in HSE management system in the arrangement section, like how it can be done. And who, okay, example of topics: carrying out risk assessment, who is going to risk assessment, do the risk assessment and job, information, instruction and training. This will be in the arrangement section. Compliance and
Sir, please excuse me, sir. Screen, sir, please.
okay. Okay, carrying out risk assessment information, these all are the in the arrangement section. And emergency procedure, fire safety procedure, HSE plans, procedure, logistic plan, consultation with the workers, accident reporting procedure, incident reporting procedure, first aid procedures, compliance and monitoring, auditing procedures, inspections procedures. These all are the in the arrangement sections. And then we have a activity for the learners. Can you think of any other specific health and safety hazard? Write down as many as you can think of which you believe should be included in arrangement section of health and safety. Before we have arrangement section of health and safety policy. So you guys just read this one and think if we need to add something more in these items which are mentioned or listed here. Okay, here arrangement section, specific risk and problems, lone working, noise at the workplace, vibration from the tools and equipments, hazardous substances present on the workplace, control of contractors, transport risk, waste disposal. These all be counted in the arrangement section of health and safety policy. Okay, reviewing the policy, some reasons for review, why we need to review the policy. If there is a changes in key personnel, like
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर सिर्फ 2 मिनट के लिए स्टॉप करेंगे, अजान हो रही है हमारी तरफ से.
Yes, please. Okay, I will stop the recording.
Thank you.
Actually, okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we have why we need to review HSE policy. If there is a change in the key personals, if there is a change in management structure, ownership process, like which process is being implemented on the site, if there is a big changes or major changes in technology, like new plant and equipment bring on site, then we need to review the policy and the change in the legislations. And if there is an incident happened, if there is an enforcement action taken by the authorities, local or legal authorities, in the organization's health and safety system, if they took action against the organization, they need to review their policy. They need to find that where they are lacking, what are the drawbacks in the policy, so that they can improve that. After workers consultation, yeah, consultation means they are taking feedback from the workers. They go to the workers, they go to the actual workplace, and they ask the employees what are the problems you are facing. Then the HSE team, they have to think that all this is included in our HSE policy and HSE management system. If not, then we need to review. And then annually, that is a legal requirement to and that is a legal requirement to review the HSE policy.
अच्छा सर, इसमें एक क्वेश्चन था कि ये जो लीगली इसका कह रहे हैं एनुअली पॉलिसी है, ये लाजमी है कि एनुअली इसको चेंज करेंगे या इसमें वो कंटिन्यू भी कर सकते हैं?
Annual is a legal organization, is a legal requirement, annual review, but mostly it can be reviewed after 6 monthly in with HSE plan, but 6 monthly there are no changes. So it's a requirement
Yes.
to review it yearly, a legal requirement by ILO and by OSAS.
Sir, if suppose all these reason, if there is no any interruption or there is no any amendment in this point,
Still
in
we
spite
need,
of all,
still we need to review it yearly.
then we review it annually.
Annually,
Okay, it's okay, sir.
annually, it must be.
Thank you,
reviewed.
sir.
Okay. Then we have Article 14 ILO recommendations R164 require employers to set down a written health and safety policy. Just a moment. Okay, ILO recommendation R164 requires employer to set down written health and safety policy and arrangement for health and safety management where circumstances warrant it and in a readily understand language. It must be in a language which can be easy to understand for all level of employees and all stakeholders, and where circumstances warrant it and where the circumstances require that it need to be reviewed, it must be reviewed by the organization. Okay, here what are the 3 key parts of health and safety policy? What are 3 key parts? We have just discussed what type of targets might be referred. Targets can be achieving 0 LTI, minimum first aid cases, achieving the workplace with 0 insurance claims like that. And the 3 parts is policy implementation and arrangement section, and then evaluation. These are the 3 key parts. I just changed the words so you guys need to review it. Okay, guys, our session has been ended.
Right.
I will restart it now. If you have any query, we can continue for that.